You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Jersey Shore. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Jersey Shore news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Jersey Shore.
Hello, fans of Jersey Shore. Okay, Phil, I forget like your DJ name. What is it again? Like Street Dr. Phil?
Yes, Street Dr. Phil.
Street Dr. Phil? Nice. Thank you, Street Dr. Phil. We are here for Season 5, Episode 2, One Man Down.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I just got
Vinny
it.
Drama. Right? Vinny Drama.
Like, who's missing in the studio? No, it's just Vinny.
Yeah, we're just missing Vinny.
Yeah, we're just missing Vinny.
Actually, we are missing one person.
People.
We're missing, but no. First of all, welcome back, Roxy, rookie Striar, who's been with us from the beginning, 5 seasons long of this. Thank you for. I know you had your extended USC college break, which I'm sure you didn't do any drinking.
None. It was a month of sobriety.
Right, and you studied.
I'm gonna go to the club tonight and not drink.
That's so admirable.
Joke.
Great to have you back, and tonight we're also going to have back our own wet blanket, Ian Kaiser Sose. And the deal with Ian right now.
You give him a bad rap.
No, it's a wet blanket. Come on, he doesn't drink. You know, he doesn't like the show. We force him to watch this. He doesn't like their lifestyle.
Secretly.
Maybe secretly, or he likes the attention. Anyway, we didn't know that there was going to be an MTV after show, and due to scheduling conflicts, we couldn't stay and watch it. So we don't want to let you guys down and not give you the recap on that. So Ian is in there watching it now, and in our special segment later in the show, he's going to come in, give us the report. I'm sure he'll give us all his opinions as well as to what he sees. So we're excited to see Ian, and we're excited to get to the special segment as well.
They were really trashy. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, that's usually No, these people are crazy.
Is that every week?
This is the insane Shore. He's all.
What are they doing?
He's across the shore.
I love it.
Ian comes from, he's a money guy. He's very snooty, but anyway, he's very intellectual. We force him to do the show, but he's gracious enough to come and be part of it. Anyway, do you guys just want to get right into it with I think Gionni, Snooki, and the situation, just real quick.
Yeah, jump right in.
Okay, situation is just kind of a douchebag.
I don't get what's going on.
Yeah, definitely a douchebag.
Right.
It's like my big question is, why is he trying to make best friends with Gionni? Why is he trying so hard?
Part of his plan.
Right. Well, then he's best friends, but then he in his sidebar interviews, he's
exactly
scheming.
I wonder what he's gonna try and do.
He's got to have something up his sleeve.
He has a plan.
Listen. This goes back to the question we've been debating for 5 seasons. He has said this. I'm being repetitive, but he has said this on numerous occasions. My job is to make great television when I'm there.
Right.
So, yes, he's being a d-bag by doing this, but is this calculated? Is this him saying this will make great television? Like him knowing this will make great television to
think
get under
it's all
his
about
skin,
that.
right?
Mm-hmm. Totally. I think he's very smart, as I've said before, and
in that regard,
right? And he knows what he's doing. It can't hurt in any way to become Gianni's friend, or at least to pretend to be his friend. It's better than the
but pretending and then admitting to pretend, in your interviews. So it's not like just being a phony. as I am with Gabby.
Oh, thanks.
We're generally phony with one another, but that's okay.
Why do you think that?
That we're phony?
Yeah, why are we phony?
We're not going to be. That's not sidebar.
That's
People don't like it. The
really?
fans don't like when we sidebar.
That's for another
about
day.
our stuff. But I'm
Special
saying,
segment.
I'm kidding.
Just kidding.
But he's pretending. But then he's in those interviews he's like,
It's like letting the audience in on
and
the
now
secret.
now I'm pretending and this is what I'm doing and I feel he is. I think he's just like, let me make great television. But what I think is confusing for him is the fact that he does live with these people, the fact that these people are close and they don't like him anymore. Even Pauly, when he was, he said Vinny had said, one of Vinny's last remarks, and we'll talk about Vinny later in the show, but one of Vinny's last remarks, like, yeah, now you have to stick with Situation. And remember the days 3 or 4 seasons ago where Situation was a brother from another mother. That's what Pauly had said about him.
That was his best
And
brother.
I mean, no one is close in the house to him at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like
As we see in previews from next week, which we can talk about.
right.
I think the Situation is like scheming and he's like patting himself on the back and he's like, just wait until it all comes around. But then it's just going to backfire on him because the roommates don't care about him and they're all just kind of like forget about him. And eventually, like we saw in scenes for next season, like they're just forgetting about him.
Right.
And it's going to just, and he's the one that's going to end up.
I think he's not. I think as much as he knows this is great television, there's a side to him. There's a human side. These people are together every day, and they always say that the mask kind of falls off on these shows. Like nobody can keep it up, and I've seen him almost every season by the end fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the one thing about all these kids is that they're, God, I know we get a lot of criticism for saying this, but like I still feel at the end of the day these are good kids. Like look how upset they are about Vinny leaving.
Yeah.
And they're really like rallying and I love you and come out tonight. Like think of the other reality shows. Like the housewives all hate, like half of them hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
They loathe each other. Mob wives.
Yeah, but do you remember when we were watching last week and in between the commercial breaks, the interstitials we saw, they had such
They were a
a
little
tense
weird.
environment. Yeah.
But was it tense or was it the fact that like I know you both you guys are reporters, across the table, Jessica and Gabby. But these people aren't trained. So it's a lot of times, even when you see actors have to, even great famous actors, have them say, do what Maria Menounos does or what you do, and they're stiff. So we don't know if that was them all not getting along or the fact that they just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but 5 seasons in and you're still not used
By
to
the
the
way,
camera.
wait, I'm sorry. I haven't
VMAs, everything.
Wait, I'm
Come
with
on.
Roxy, Rookie Striar. Who's across the table?
What's my name? No, you announced me.
I
gave me
got
the
Gabby
title.
and I got Jessica across the table from me. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
You
anyway,
announced me.
but you think they're...
No, I wanted my name. Where's my Jersey name? What
Oh,
happened
what
to
is
that?
it? What is your Jersey name?
Isn't it Sassy? Is it Sassy Gabby, did we say?
It is.
Right?
Sassy Gabby. What's
You gotta do
what's
it.
Jessica's?
Sassy
Jessica
Gabby.
Kingpin.
Jessica Kingpin. I love that. I love that.
That's what I meant.
But I think that
And
could
Phil the
have...
Thrill.
And Phil the Thrill. No. I like Street Dr. Phil.
That's his DJ name, but
You're right. His Jersey Shore name is Phil the Thrill. Okay.
Phil the Thrill.
Noted.
Love it.
You got to
Noted.
keep it to the original.
Noted. So I feel that discomfort is it may be the fact that they are uncomfortable with one another, but it also could be the fact that they just kind of don't know how to be
on
hosts.
camera and host. Yeah.
Right. How to talk right to camera.
Disappointing.
Maybe. But I feel like with him, I think it's weird for him because I just don't think they like him anymore.
Situation.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to
I don't
touch
think-
on
Go ahead.
with what you guys were saying is this for TV. If he wasn't like this prior to the reality show, I feel like this personality that he's portraying on camera for TV is going to stay with him off camera now because he's been doing it so long. And it's like the actors when they study for a role.
They get too deep in the role.
Yeah, they get too
and
deep in the
The
role.
bad ones can't divorce from
Exactly.
it. Oh my goodness, I have so many Hollywood
Yeah.
stories I won't bore you with.
Oh, that's actually interesting, though.
Of guys who can't,
Yeah.
who and, I don't know girls. Well, no, and I do know some girls actually, some ladies. No, they just kind of became that character because that's all they identified with because that was a happy time for them or a successful time. And I agree with you, and I have heard from people who have talked to him, and it's like it's not Mike, it's Situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, just kind of do my thing, like just thrown all that at them
Yeah.
when like, hey, you ready for next season? And that was actually his response.
I want a true Hollywood story on him, and I want to see the interviews with all the people that knew him before he became famous.
It's actually interesting.
That's what I wanna do.
He was on Kelly. I keep wanting to say Regis and Kelly. But
Yeah, but not.
Live
Kelly,
with Kelly.
right.
I think it was yesterday, and she was hosting with Boomer. I forgot his last name, but he was on
Boomer,
there.
football player, Boomer Esiason, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was on there, and the situation came on. And they were talking about how his abs were insured and whatnot. And they're talking about, if
I just feel like that's I mean, Mary Hart
Wait,
did
that-
that 30 years ago. I feel like that's so desperation to try to keep him alive
Exactly.
in the press.
That
Exactly.
goes on the list, by
But
the
they
way,
started
too.
talking about the insurance company and how they feel about all the drama that's going on the show. And the situation was kind of like, yeah, I got to tell them that, what they see on TV is actually not, it's, and Kelly was like, scripted. And the situation was like, yeah. And what happened next was just kind of like producers were just like, change the subject, and Boomer was like, just kid, and then the situation was like, no, just kidding, that was a joke, and
Ooh.
quickly just like had to change the subject, and it was
So-
like, next.
Wait, so what do you make of that?
I think the situation makes it very clear what you just said earlier. He has to make good TV.
But if he's individually making it on his own, that's one thing. But is he working with Sally Sosano and the
No.
producers?
No, I don't think so.
Because if he was, they should pay him more.
I think so.
They pay him a fine amount.
I think so
Oh, they
because
do.
I
I
think
know.
that
I'm just kidding.
this season they've made it clear. Like Sammy just released her new fragrance or whatnot, and they did interviews with her, and all she keeps saying is, "Oh, I think this season, you're gonna see our lighter side. You're gonna see us having fun, and there's drama, but we're gonna have fun, and you're gonna see us having fun." And so, if it weren't for the whole Gionni and Snooki and Situation love triangle thing, there wouldn't be anything this season. And so, they really need to play that up. Or else, what would there be to other than this whole Vinny boo-hoo?
Well, I get
thing,
that they're playing it up, but it's when we, like as we say in AfterBuzz here, the dick in the soup. That's what concerns me, when they actually plant something.
Yeah.
Later on in the show, we'll talk about the theft of the necklace, and one of you guys had said in there that was a producer planting it, and we'll talk about that. So I feel as though Situation. He seems like a lone wolf. He seems like, and I think this is exactly why they don't like him, because he's plotting and planning in the back of his brain how he can create controversy and make what he thinks is good television.
Did you guys see that thing on the internet? It was a little while ago from last season in Italy when the whole Jersey Shore cast was in a bar and Snooki and I think Dina smashed the
yes.
bottles. They spoke how that was scripted and they showed
They
clips
broke it
of
down.
the walkie on the producer getting in
Planting
there.
the,
Yes, we should play that clip for something.
We should.
In another-
Yeah, God, it's
know what I'm talking about?
Phil. Maybe next week we'll pull that clip. It was disheartening to see because it looked total. When
You know where you can find it actually?
where.
On AfterBuzz or Facebook.com/AfterBuzzTV. It's up there.
Thank you,
We
Street
posted
Doctor
it.
Phil.
I think
Okay.
the Situation was just an easy person not to like from the get-go because he came
But
in.
I did
No,
like
I
him.
totally disagree with that.
yeah.
I didn't like him from the get-go, and I knew a lot of people that didn't like him
He was
because he was
funny,
He was funny, but
and then
because
when
he
he
was
was
so conceited and
True that, but at least when he was MVP and they were working together, it was kind of fun. But now
Yeah.
that he's just this like lone wolf,
Yeah.
I got-
who just
yeah.
it seems like he's all about himself, his brand or whatever. And I think at this point it's kind of blown up in his face. I don't think he is what he was. I think the front runners of the show are Snooki and Pauly.
Here's what I
Pauly for
think.
sure.
I'm getting away from the front runners point and just talking about the Situation for a second. I think that at the beginning I really did like him, and I think that the majority of people did. It was clear that Snooki and Mike Situation were the two biggest stars on the show, so clearly he had a following. I think he's burnt so many bridges.
That's it.
At this point, he's like,
Agreed.
how do I stay up with this? How do I keep up with my fame? How do I keep going? And it doesn't even, I don't even think it's consciously, but he has nothing to lose anymore. So he's kind of just dicking around with everybody because he's like, this is how I'm going to stay
But
in
I
the
think,
limelight.
but it's biting him in the ass.
It's totally biting him in the ass.
Because it's kind of all falling apart, and I feel like, you know, and I've said in seasons past, because I thought the way he was progressing, it would be fun to see the situation get married or have a kid or have a station
It
wagon
still
with a
would be.
babysit. I don't know anymore. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if
possible.
he's played out, but I don't know because it's such a front that I don't know. I mean, I think what the best thing of any of these shows is what is most genuine. You know, I'm out pitching shows all the time to the biggest production companies, and the one thing that they always say is, it's got to be genuine. So whoever you're pitching me, let's say you have a crazy group of Persians that have an amazing restaurant. Is it genuine? Do they really all hate each other? Do they really own the restaurant? I mean, even as much as it is a lot of dick in the soup with these shows, what makes the best television is when it's genuine, and they know that, and he is such a front now.
Yeah, it kind of brings me to the next question, which would be, there's a reason why The Real World changes the cast every season.
Yep.
Are we just getting
Is it
sick
time
of these
for
people?
new
Yep.
Yeah,
cast?
there is a reason for that. That's for
And
sure.
Well,
now we've been
Which
with
is
them.
what they struggled with after the first season when there were all those rumors if they should switch the cast or not, and they were
Right,
thinking about
right.
that.
It's hard with the show because they've gotten so famous. With the Beverly
Right.
Hills Housewives, like the Housewives franchise are all known and they still work, right?
But that's probably because they have so many, though.
They do have
so
so
many different
So
casts.
it's like it's
you know?
humbling to affect.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Yeah, they're in different
So
locations.
like when one's on hiatus, then the next one
Yeah.
starts up
So
again.
it keeps the other cast
yeah.
somewhat humble. Which,
Exactly.
All right, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, speaking to being genuine, I feel what's going on between Gianni and Snooki is genuine.
Oh,
I feel like
absolutely.
he's an
I mean, they're
old-fashioned Italian
engaged.
kid.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's an old-fashioned Italian kid. I don't feel like it's them producers saying, okay, you'll be the boyfriend who's kind of the sticking mud and you're going to be the crazy meatball.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like it's very genuine with those guys.
Well, do you guys remember the season where they first met? They didn't even really try and introduce him then, but I remember them walking on the boardwalk together from being out at a club, and it didn't go further than that, but I remember them introducing him a little, but they never really brought up in another season, oh, well, that was the guy. But I do remember he was in one of the seasons prior where she met him at a bar, because that's what happened on camera.
It was season 3, I think. Right before the season before that.
Yeah, it was so real because then he didn't show up for like another 2 seasons, and then they
Right.
started dating. So that was, I definitely don't think that was scripted.
No.
Because she had another boyfriend before that.
She did.
Right.
She had another boyfriend.
And he hung in.
yeah.
And I just keep saying.
He used her, by the way.
Of
Exactly.
course.
And wanted
these-
to do interviews
these-
after they broke
did a
up.
reality show
A
after.
reality
No,
show.
these guys like all want to hang in. I mean, even did you notice even Dina, the guy tonight? Did you hear what he said to her? She's like, "Oh, I saw an old friend." He's like, "I've been texting you. I've been trying to hit
Yeah.
you. You don't hit me back. ...
Yeah.
You're famous. I want to glom on."
Exactly.
That's all and I've said that like every week. Like, of course, these guys are gonna put up with this stuff because it could literally change their lives forever financially.
That's all I want.
Well,
In
you know
terms of
what?
Gianni
Yeah.
with Snooki, though, as much as we're saying it is genuine, I do agree with that. But he bitches,
He's hanging in.
He bitches
Right.
all the time about her being Snooki. It's like you had to know going in.
Well, JWoww said
She's
that.
gonna drink,
Remember?
she's- yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
you're dating Snooki.
It's like, who did you fall in love with if you're dating someone that's like this person you don't like?
And she is this person 24/7.
But guys,
Exactly.
but how often does this happen? Now, maybe you guys are too young to have dated these guys who like what they love about you. They also like
trying to
and try to
change about you,
change.
yeah.
So
It's ridiculous. It's like Gianni.
Yeah, that makes sense.
they have to get to a
understand.
comfort level with
Mm.
you. They got to get you to like them enough, and then once they do, then they have the power. Then they
Which
start.
probably, like, disregarding TV for a second is good for Snooki to have a guy like that, but
Yeah.
that's not what we want to see.
Because
No.
who wants their boyfriend to be like, oh, cool, yeah, show your ass. Like, that's cool.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it. I don't care.
I have to
Nobody
say,
wants that.
like, there's nothing worse than having to babysit your
Oh, it's the
boyfriend or
worst.
girlfriend and having to do
Or
that
anybody.
every
It's
anyone,
embarrassing.
your
It's
friend
embarrassing.
or
Right.
anyone.
It's the
And
worst.
having to do that every
The worst.
night, I could not take that.
Totally. I completely agree. And you can see it's wearing on him. I mean, he's
It's
done
wearing
it a
on,
couple
but
times.
he's gonna hang in.
But he
He's
clearly
gonna
does
hang in
it
for
because
the
they're
gold-
engaged.
he's-
So.
They're still together now.
Now the
so
golden
we'll
goose,
see.
he'll be hanging in. You know, earlier on we saw. I liked how situation did make me laugh when he said GTL endurance is down.
Yeah, it's literally what I wrote down.
You know, which was funny, and then the fact that he almost left without a girl, like it was I can't believe this. I'm leaving without a girl. He was in like this panic,
And then he pulled Paula,
He pulled
friends
Paula,
with benefits.
his friend with benefits.
That was her label.
I know. I love that.
Now you guys
That
were all
was so
attacking her.
funny.
I actually thought she was okay. She
Yeah,
thought
I didn't think she
cute.
was bad at first.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I thought she
in
was
the
pretty
club she
bad.
looked okay, but then the next day I was like.
But here's what I'll put to the table.
That happens a lot.
I don't know when he's ever. I don't think I've never seen him pick up a beautiful girl.
Me
Ever.
neither.
And I've always said that I actually don't think the pickings are very. I think they're very slim down the shore for really beautiful women.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
is the
for
situation good
that
looking?
Karma area.
Well, for
But he's
someone
famous,
who
it doesn't matter. You know, in Hollywood, does it matter? Like, look at the guys in Hollywood, the girls they get.
Yeah, but
Oh my God, go to
he's
any
scummy.
bar in
He's not
Hollywood
like-
and see a
But the
successful
situation prides himself on pulling chicks like all the time. So for someone who's constantly bragging about it and priding himself on that, you would think you can get one hot girl
I
like
would think
once
so.
in a
So-
while. Like and
I've-
now, like
I
you
don't
said,
think
now
I've
that
ever
he's
seen-
famous,
he should be able to get
he should be
anyone.
a little like
guy. Is it because the pickings are slim, or his game is that lame?
Maybe
it's
he's
a horrible
both.
game.
Both.
creepy.
Both. I mean, Gab. You know the Jersey Shore. You.
Not really.
No,
I mean,
you
I know
don't?
of it. I have
I
friends
thought
that
you
gone.
grew up in Jersey.
No, I grew up in Long Island. Everyone confuses it.
Long
right.
Island.
Yes.
All right. So you okay?
But I mean, I know a ton of people that have gone there. It's a popular place to go. But I mean,
I'm always looking in the background.
You're more of a
these
Hamptons
shots.
girl.
Yeah, she's so a Hamptons girl.
no, I like the Hamptons. I'm a city girl. I like New York City. That's my thing. But I'm Jersey. It's a little bit of both. More on the trashier side, I feel like, definitely. Because I even remember when I was in high school, Long Island was like that. And any club you'd go to, you'd see the Guidos with the spiked hair and the tans, and the ugly girls that had nothing on. That's what it was like in Long Island at one point. The same thing. It's just catching on in Jersey later, I guess. I don't know. Or it stayed with them longer. One or the other. I don't know. But I think it's a little bit of both. And also, if I was at the Jersey Shore and I saw Mike, I would not touch him.
It's the
It's
creepy
not.
factor.
But okay, guys. But it's famous, Mike. And you
I
guys
guess-
are
I
different.
don't give it.
All right, but
crap
both you
what
guys
Mike it is.
different. You guys
either
are different.
Mike will
I
not
know.
do it for me.
Okay, you guys are different. You're in the industry. You're always in contact with him. It's different. I'm just saying.
I
the
think my
average-
friends from home, yes, they would hook up with Mike.
Okay, there you go.
Living out in LA, knowing that, it's just a creepy factor. It's like you can't just hook up with a random celebrity. It's not
No.
a cool thing to do. But yeah, I do think my friends at home would be like completely starstruck and
just do it.
definitely go for him.
Just to have it on
Which
the
is
record.
why I'm surprised he can't get any ass.
So is it because?
any
But that's what I'm
good-looking-
saying. Is
Yeah.
it because of his? She like you? I think you're right. It's a little both. His
Mm-hmm.
game isn't as strong as we think, but also the pickings aren't so good.
Right.
Also, when he's standing next to Vinny and Pauly, he's clearly the least
But he's a sitch.
enjoyable.
But I
you know
thought the
what?
Jersey
But he's so
Shore gets
famous.
packed in the summers. Like
It does,
aren't
but
there
can I
s-
say
But with what?
What is good game? Good game is when we don't know it's game. That's good game.
Right, and we
Good
know.
game isn't. Oh, you wanna leave and go
Yeah.
to my room?
When they're
Okay.
like,
But you know what?
That's not
What
good
Pauly
game.
said in it, he was. I was watching Billy Bush's interview with Pauly, and it was Pauly and it was Ronnie
it was the
and
three
it was Vinny.
and Vinny, right?
And he said, now it's so great. This is from Pauly. Now it's so great because girls come right up and say, hello, I'm DTF. How awesome is that?
Tonight, the girl
Right?
that
So, of course, I'm sure Chantel walked up. Thank you.
pathetic.
But
That's
they walk
pathetic.
right up, and I'm like, man, like, I just, like, I'm hoping my next life, this is going to be me.
Oh my god.
I would
Oh, you
never
said that
do
to
that.
me.
I
so
would
much
never
fun to,
say
I
that
say
to
it
a
all
guy.
the time to be drunk for like whatever 2 straight months. Everyone paying my bills. All I have to worry about is tanning, gym, and laundry. That's my only worries.
And t-shirt shop.
And, yeah, and then
T-shirt shop.
and then you nurse the hangover at the t-shirt shop, which I love. And I love how Danny the t-shirt guy completely defanged now that they're famous.
Oh yeah, he sucked. the first season.
Did you see his haircut?
Oh,
I love the
handsome.
haircut.
Oh, yeah. No, he's rocking
He's
the hair.
working it.
Yeah. And now he's all concerned and he's sitting with Vinny and he's
Yeah.
so
He's
to
like
me
Papa
like,
Bear.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's like the fatherly figure.
I
in the
hope my
show.
next life this is the life I get to live.
Don't you
live
want
at
to
the
be
shore.
Danny the t-shirt guy?
I think so. It sounds.
No, I really want to be one of the boys on the
Which
shore.
one would you be, Kevin? That's a good
Oh,
question.
Pauly, because Pauly has
Pauly.
because he's got the
DJ.
trade to DJ and you monetize it
Yeah. What about you girls? Who would you be?
Who would I want to be, or who am I most
for
like?
the girls.
Who would you want to be?
JWoww.
I would be
JWoww.
JWoww.
I agree.
For sure.
I'm JWoww too.
For sure.
No, because
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like JWoww again. We've talked about it, but she's evolved. I mean,
Yeah,
like
not
you're-
JWoww season 1, JWoww season 5.
right.
Season 5.
Well, season
Yeah,
1 was
JWoww
like a
season-
party. I'm going crazy. Now I've met a guy, and by the way, we're at Karma. Where the heck is Roger?
Yeah.
They're just staying out of the drama, out of the scene.
He has to
don't wanna be
work.
But
involved.
Can't get
is
off
that what it
work.
is? He probably
He
can't get off
works.
work.
He seems to have like a
works
crazy work
crazy.
schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
They always
doesn't,
bring that up, even with Italy. They brought it up.
and he's not giving it up yet. All right, let's talk about Pauly and Chantel. You know, again, great girl, tatted out to the nines. I love it, and must have walked up to him and said, "I'm totally DTF."
Yeah,
She
even
did
said
the
that.
head move.
Yeah, I
the-
think she did.
Let's go.
She said, "Let's get out of here." No, she
How?
said, "I'm ready to get out of here." He
Yeah,
was like,
because
"I wasn't even ready."
Yeah, he made a comment in his
Yeah.
interview, and he was basically like, "Well, if they're ready to go before I am, that's a good sign,"
That's
or
a
whatever
great
he said.
sign.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
he gets
that
to be
I didn't even have to say
DTF.
anything.
So they're DTF, and we see her steal the necklace, and a couple of you guys pointed out Dick in the Soup. Like
Yeah.
producer
Yeah.
did that.
Totally.
I wasn't so sure because I think why wouldn't the girl try to get a souvenir? She's drunk. She's ghetto.
And then return
like,
it.
why
I would
not
have
grab-
thought she would have sold it.
I know. I
mean,
thought she
No.
would've sold it
diamond.
before
wait,
the next
okay.
I get it.
morning.
She wanted to see him.
Let's
but,
talk about the return back. So before we get to why she came back, so let's just go around the table. Go ahead, Roxy.
I totally disagree. I don't think it was planned at all. I think she's thinking, ooh, I'm on television. This would be funny. So I do think that's influencing her. But no way was there a discussion with the producers.
Or
and
is
her.
it just like really a souvenir like that is amazing? That's
Yeah,
something
that
for
could
someone
be,
who's
but-
not in the industry. That's like something great to
She was drunk.
show your
she wanted to
friends
see him the next day,
eBay.
or she wanted to do that. Totally. I don't think anybody planned it. I
Okay.
think this little girl's like, ooh, fun. Let's see what I can do with this.
That's I mean, listen,
Definitely.
I knew girls to kind of do that. I knew guys to do that stuff. So to
Crazy.
me, I was right along for the ride.
Definitely,
All right, girls,
totally.
what do you guys think? Across the table.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I would originally think that it was a producer thing and they were scripting it. But if it was really her, I was thinking she'd either sell it because God knows, like she's dirty enough to do that, you know? So I would think she'd sell it, try and get money for the diamonds, or she just wants to see him. I don't think she thinks it's funny for TV because she was too wasted
no, I
to
agree
know
with
the
that.
difference.
I agree with that. But you
You
don't
know?
think a producer told her to steal it?
Oh, I think a producer. It looked too.
Interesting.
Oh,
All
let
right.
me just stick it like this.
All
It
right.
looked fake. It looked like she's a bad actor. That's what it looked like.
All right. Yeah.
My first thought was the Dick in the Soup. I thought a producer could have told her to do it. But then when I thought about it as I was watching it, like if I had hooked up with a guy, regardless if it was Pauly D, and he's kind of like, get out, I got to call a cab, you can't sleep over, then I would have been pissed and been like, well, screw you, I'm going to take your chain. And then I would have thought, like, I'm going to sell it before you can call me. But then it's like, well, crap, I want my shoes back.
That was good.
Right.
So,
No, I don't even think there were any shoes.
Yeah, there were no shoes. Where were they?
So you don't. So no Dick in the Soup.
I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence
All
about
right.
it.
So okay. So she comes back the next day, and I feel like, and again, knowing this element of people, I feel like, oh my God, either she realized or friends told it, idiot, they have 18 cameras on that house. This chain's probably worth anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $10,000. Who knows? Maybe even more. Like that's grand effing theft. You've got cameras all over. You best get your ass back to that house.
I think in the morning light, she was like, holy crap, I have this. I'm going to be back on TV.
Well, I think right. It's like now I have an excuse to go back.
But another thing
Okay,
I noticed
okay.
is though, if this was a producer thing, think about it. Pauly, if it wasn't a producer thing, sorry, they would have said, guess what? We saw on the cameras.
No, they can't. They can't do that.
They can't.
They're
They
in
can't
contract
let.
that they can't. The camera
The
people.
camera people can't.
No,
But the producers can plant things. They're planting. They could plant seeds to get them more angry or get them. You know what I mean? More
Yeah, but it
involved.
was the next day. I mean, I bet if things had gone on, they would have. But especially because I was talking a lot with the people in the real world because we cover that here also, and they were telling me like, anytime you cannot talk to the camera people. If you open your mouth, you get fined. If they open their mouth, they get
the
fined.
producer, the producer's watching the footage.
Definitely, but it was
they're
like,
there.
It was like 10 hours later, less. I mean, he said it was 4 in the morning when he kicked her out.
I don't know. I feel like if it was serious, they'd see it on camera and they would have let them know if it wasn't something that the producer planted.
I agree with Kevin. Like at some point, it has to occur to you when you like come to that like, crap, like there's so many cameras. At some point, this is gonna air on TV, and I could get in trouble for this, or something's gonna happen.
I'm sure people said to her, like, did you think, they've
Yeah.
cameras all over that house? I just, again, I hate to say
she
it,
came
been
out
around
drunk.
thieves my whole life, and I know how they think, and I'm like, oh my God, and they're usually shrewd enough, the ones that are,
I don't know if she was a thief, though, or if she was just doing it for the camera, but if she was a thief, she probably came home exactly like you're saying, held in front of her friends' faces, look what I have, and they were like, are you a moron?
like a
But
diamond
by the way,
necklace, yeah.
but by the way, as a guy, I remember I had someone do that, take something from me only as an excuse to be able to say, "Oh, I left the."
I've
know.
left something of mine somewhere.
happens.
So we
That
get right, so we can
happens.
do a follow up. Okay, let's talk Vinny. I mean, this is like the whole episode. Vinny's leaving. Vinny's depressed, and we learn that Vinny has issues with anxiety and whatnot. And how gracious of Dan, the T-shirt man, to take. Have you eaten anything? Like this guy was.
Let me get you a
Because we're
drink.
gonna go Powerade.
He was. Do you guys remember him season 1?
Yeah.
Why aren't you here on time?
Oh, he was
Very
terrible.
stern.
And now it's just like, yeah, he's everybody's friend. So anyway, you know, it was nice to see. I liked speaking of the T-shirt store. I liked seeing Sammy actually excited for something. I'm excited to go to work. That was really
I
cool.
think that was the only
because
time we
we've
saw Sammy all episode.
It is, but
Yeah, right?
we've also kind of seen Sammy as this a little bit of a sourpuss all these years. You know, it's either
She's been way better this season.
yeah, and I like the idea that she was excited for something. I'm excited to go to work. Like, who would be excited
Yeah.
to go? She was excited to go there, and then again, even she's worried about Vinny, which is nice. And sure enough, the T-shirt guy takes him out. We learn that Vinny has anxiety issues, but
Which he calls clinical
Clinical
anxiety.
anxiety.
clinical
Yes.
anxiety.
All of a sudden, it's a medical.
Medical. Yeah,
Okay, so let's
diagnosis.
talk about this. Does Vinny know he's creating a good TV moment? Is that all it's just about?
I don't think it was on his
Or is he
mind.
really just a mummy's boy who's just really and not really meant to party every
Both.
single
Totally
night?
the latter.
Both.
Totally the latter.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't help but thinking too that one episode was kind of dedicated to this, but it didn't seem like as big of a deal as if it was Pauly leaving, if it was JWoww leaving, or Snooki.
Well, it was big to them because I think he's the one that gets along with everybody.
No, I'm not saying to them. I'm saying to the audience. Like, I feel like it was downplayed, kind of. Anytime
We had a
that
lot going
somebody
on.
else-
Because look at us.
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
already talked a half hour about so many other things.
Anytime that somebody else has threatened to leave, it's been
A huge
a
moment.
huge in the entire episode. But the episode, part of it was based on that, but a lot of other stuff happened in this episode, like you're saying. So I don't know. I kind of felt like he got gypped, and
in his moment.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's dynamic enough to have a big moment.
Yeah.
He's not. He's the more relaxed, like normal guy on the show.
But he affected all of them.
He
They
did
were
because
all-
he's likable by everybody.
He
That's
doesn't have
the
beef
thing.
with anybody in the house and never has.
That's
I
so
mean, it
it's like
seems-
because he's
Sweet
likable.
thing, like, oh, Vinny's leaving. All right, let's go out.
It's-
Pauly,
yeah,
stay
that's what
in
it
and
is.
help him pack. Let us know what happens.
Well,
He's just
that's
the
as
good
much as they
guy.
can offer.
Yeah.
He's the good guy.
That's as much as they can offer. I mean, listen, they're not Mother Teresa, these guys. You know what I mean? But
For Gandhi.
they're not Gandhi. But I still say, and I maintain, which is why I really like these guys, and I love doing this show, is that I compare them to the Housewives and Mob Wives, and I don't know, some of the other reality shows where the people are just kind of heinous and wretched and tearing each other to shreds.
Oh yeah.
I will say Pauly's a really good friend because I think it was really sweet that he was going out of his way
Yeah.
to, take him to get mani-pedis and, but
In
was
the-
trying
in-
to
in their
lift
own
his
way.
spirits
Yeah,
and
in their-
just make him
however-
smile.
By the way, why didn't anyone just say, dude, go home for a week and come back and recharge?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
That's what I was
That's what
saying.
I'm thinking the whole time.
But here's where I say, is that because
He comes-
they didn't think of that healthy advice, or is it because
Contract.
it's not good television? It's better to just.
It's not good television.
So you think that's why they didn't step up and say?
No, I don't agree with that because everybody else has gone a week
I
and
would
come
say
back.
go for a week, dude. Chill,
Yeah,
go
who
home, see your
cares?
mother.
Then they
get
could have filmed him at
Get some
home.
spaghetti
When
and come
Sammy
back.
left,
Whatever.
they made it seem as if she was going for good. Like they didn't say go home and come back. I'm sure Vinny's gonna come back. It's not like the kind of thing they don't want us to know.
Yeah, he'll get
go
over it.
home and talk to
Yeah.
your family and just do a temporary thing and
Because you
you'll
hate
get
being
over
on this
it.
TV
You
show
know?
that everybody loves. It makes us
It
feel
doesn't
bad
make
for him.
good
and it-
TV because
By
then
the-
we could breathe easy
What?
if we know that Vinny's gonna come back.
Okay, so then explain this to me. Why didn't or wouldn't Pauly or someone else say what I would say? Go home for a week and
Here's
come back and
why.
charge. And the second thing, but let me finish, Roxy, 'cause I want to hear what you think about this. Why wouldn't you say dude, this is your this is your life. This is what we do. This is your career. You don't want to walk away from this. Is that not allowed?
I bet they
Definitely-
did say that and it was edited
That's
out.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
definitely
there you go.
editing.
Okay.
There's no way they didn't say it, but they're not going to put it on the show because the whole point of the show is not to allude to the fact that they're celebrities.
Right.
And that they're
Okay.
making money for this. Obviously, somebody sat him down and was like, dude, you're you're getting paid to drink. We're having a great time. Go home, chill for a week, come back, miss a week's paycheck, whatever, no problem. Somebody said that to him.
And to be honest, I'm sure Vinny said, "I'm gonna go home for a little bit."
First
it
of
probably
all,
wasn't. I'm gonna go.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
leave.
I don't think they even know how many episodes while they're filming they're making money for at that point because they're just filming.
They're just filming.
So he
right.
doesn't know which episodes he's missing anyways. So they
Right.
can't really determine, I'm going to be missing 4 episodes. They don't know that.
And I kind of bet, even though this is the second episode of the season, this is probably further along than we
Happened,
think.
yeah.
Probably not that much happened in the very beginning. So he's thinking he's probably got a few episodes in right now, and he only made 2.
And also in filming, they could have filmed it. This could have been the last week or something. You never know because sometimes they take things from the last week, put it in the first week. Things from the first week, throw it in the middle. They do that in editing just to like make a storyline kind of mesh better.
Right.
Or, you know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. This could have been way further down the line.
It could have been also it could have been anywhere. So
Well,
we
he-
don't really know those details.
And he's alluded in every interview. Basically, he's coming back. And
Yeah.
He's going to come back.
He said in every interview, yeah, and then you'll kind of see me come around, like he said in every single interview. All right, Phil. Nice. All right.
That's me putting
wait
my
a
dick
second.
in the soup.
All right, now listen. I see Ian Kaiser Sose in the booth. Is he ready to come in for a special segment for the report after the commercial?
He is. So
All right.
why don't we do that?
And Roxy has requested to bring more vodka.
We may
yeah.
be able
All right,
to do
let's go
that.
to commercial. Get the vodka, Ian.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Really? Okay.
Ian's boring.
Oh, wait, Ian has no mic.
Yeah.
That's because he's boring.
No, I got that. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Well, wait a
So-
second.
so-
Wait. Slow
Well,
down.
people might
We're just-
remember me. I want to from
Okay,
earlier
go ahead.
shows.
What's your short name?
It was Ian Kaiser Sose. That's when I
Oh,
watched
now,
Jersey
now,
Shore.
and now it's Professor Ian.
I watched.
Like, what is it?
Professor.
No, I watched a couple seasons, and after that, you probably wonder where I went. I've dropped out of society. After that, I've taken up organic farming, and I've decided I've shunned the internet, all technology.
By the way,
I'm
and by the
living
way,
with an
by the way,
Amish commune. It's
not
wonderful.
that far from shtick because was in Africa doing yoga.
That's true.
Your life is amazing.
But you know
Oh
what?
my
You
God.
did do one Gossip Girl with me, so I knew that you didn't shun all of technology.
No, that was in the kind of the realm of Jersey Shore
All right,
time.
all
That
right,
was before
all right.
they
We are
went
all
over the
anxious
top.
for our special segment
Yes.
on the after show. What did you see?
Okay, there was 2 main topics talked about. One was obviously the Vinny situation. And they each kind of weighed in, the people who were there. The Situation said Vinny's a mama's boy, a direct quote. Vinny.
Okay, and what was the reaction? Anger or just it was okay?
Was Vinny there?
Vinny was not there.
Oh, okay, all right. Interesting.
So yeah, there was some ooze from the audience. I think. The
oh,
audience
so yeah,
wasn't
so it was said.
thrilled
It was
about
said.
that.
Okay, all right.
Snooki said, when I have anxiety, I go to the bar. So I think she just didn't understand what anxiety was all about or
You
any
go.
of it.
Love her. She's
Didn't
hilarious.
make any sense to her. And Pauly was really messed up over it, it seemed like. He actually looked directly in the camera and begged Vinny to come back. He said, Vinny, my lover,
gosh.
my friend. And the lover part raised some eyebrows because it wasn't a
All right,
very
stop,
macho.
Stop that.
Yeah, it wasn't
stop
a macho
that.
thing to
no,
say. I
come
guess.
on.
But yeah, and he said, please come back. I miss you. I miss you in the house. Obviously, this was filmed recently, so
But that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So you think? Then he's acting.
Yes.
Was this shot? recent enough where Vinny, because we all have agree
don't
Vinny's going to
know.
return. So was this shot?
I think it was shot recently, so I think they have to play that part to a degree of like put themselves back in that timeline.
I don't know how recently it was shot because again, when I was talking to the real world people, they said they can be shot at all different
Well,
times.
I know Mob Wives is doing something similar right now, and they're only done taping episode 7, and they're starting to film these after shows.
I think it gets them in the heat of the moment because then they can throw in more emotions into their after show. You know what I mean? Because it's months later, they're already over it.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so continue.
Well, I was going to say the other situation that was talked about pretty majorly, and I don't have too much knowledge on it, and it felt very in the heat of the moment because it got real and it got very intense, was Snooki and the Situation. I guess the Situation claiming that he had hooked up with Snooki.
Which we all feel he did at this point. We're going to give him that.
So that was a big, Snooki, I didn't know a lot about the situation. It didn't feel very genuine. When he's saying, I swear on my life this happened, and he stands up, he's like, 100%, and she said, and her denials didn't seem very real. She was saying it didn't. And she was saying, how could he make this up when she knows I love Giovanni, and Gianni, and, how could he say these things?
Wait, Ian, can you say who was there exactly? There were 4 of them.
It was the Meatballs, it was Pauly, and the Situation.
Okay. So Dina, Snooki, Pauly, and the
Dina,
Sitch.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah, and then Snooki, to me it didn't seem genuine, but then she said, everyone in the house believes, Mike, that this happened, so this has made me not trust anyone in the house because they all believe this, and she feels very called out by the whole thing.
I saw.
Then she started to cry. There was a lot of tears. And then Mike ended up, because she wouldn't admit to it. And Dina was kind of saying, just drop it. It doesn't matter at this point. Leave it alone. And Pauly's like, it's not that I care. I just said it, and she's denying it now, and it makes me look stupid. So he got angry, and he kind of stormed off.
Pauly stormed off.
No.
Mike.
Situation. Yeah.
Wait, when we saw previews for the after show, though, I thought I heard Snooki saying, I told Gianni, you asshole. I told him. Did that not happen?
She was saying, like, I would have told him if... I didn't quite understand what she was saying at that point, but she was definitely...
Denying.
She did on the phone, though. She kind of told him in Italy.
No, that was about Vinny.
About Vinny,
Yeah.
She said point blank on the show, she's like, Mike, we hooked up season 1, and we never hooked up again after that. He's like, we hooked up a few months ago. That's a complete lie.
So, okay... votes around at the table whether we think it's true or not.
No, I think it is true.
I think it's true also.
And she's just trying to defend herself.
Totally, yeah.
Because she's embarrassed.
Yeah, it felt very half-hearted, her attempts at defense.
Too heated over it.
Because it was more like a lot of times she'd just be like, why don't you just drop it, rather than it wasn't like emphatic, it never happened. It was a lot of like, it didn't happen, why are you keep talking about it? Was more about his insistence on it, I think, that she was angry about.
So and that would handle that half hour. Anything else?
That was really like, it was a lot of that. It was a lot. Her crying was a while, then Mike storming off, and then following him, and then...
How'd her makeup look while she was crying?
Here's how we know. You know what?
Perfect.
Here's how
Flawless.
we know it was a while ago, because was she
Skinny
very
or fat?
skinny?
I knew
Very
you were going to
skinny.
say that.
Oh, she was skinny.
It's
Very
recent
skinny.
then.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I noticed that. She was super skinny.
So I buy what's going on with them. The whole Pauly comeback thing, that kind of bums me out, because we know Vinny would have been back by then. I'd hate to think he's acting.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as him act. I see it him saying, "Yo,
How he
come
was feeling at
back,"
the
but
time.
within the content. It didn't feel like, it was something. I think you get that idea that.
Okay, got it. All right, Ian, will you be so kind as to grace us with your presence for the news?
Of course.
Okay, great.
Where do I?
Here we go.
Recruited you.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, I know Ronnie. We all know Ronnie's pretty jacked, and there's been circulation of rumors about him on steroids or whatnot. But he actually says, he did an interview with In Touch today, that he says he was bullied as a small kid, and that is reason for why he is so into his physique today.
Well, Keven was on the juice for a while. Do
I
you know
was.
what are the telltale signs of someone being on the roids?
You get acne on your back.
Right.
Your testicles shrivel.
Right.
You're easily angered.
Do they come back?
I've switched over to human growth hormone now, which is why I think,
Safer.
Yeah, no, I think that's what he's
Mike's
on.
squeezing
No,
this
I
way.
think he's on something, guys. Dude, does
Of course.
right? I mean, he seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's grown so much.
Everyone that looks like him in Long Island is on something.
I know.
That's what I know. Well,
read
thank
the,
you.
I'm
Jess.
telling
I
you.
read the same thing, and I know he had said that he was bullied his whole life, and he was always a small kid in the Bronx, so he had to be tough. And then people came at him and said, "Well, geez, you look like kind of a bully now." And he said, "Well, he's only defending himself."
This is, it hurts him when people say that
Right.
because when he feels threatened, he has to defend
How
himself.
tall
and
do we think he
whatnot.
is? What is his height?
He's short.
He's
very
small, right?
short.
Yeah,
I feel like he's
seems
like
like
5'5",
5'6" range?
Is he
I
really?
would not that
5'6"?
short. I wouldn't say that short.
He's really short. I'll look it up right now.
All right,
Because
look it up.
Sammy
I'm gonna do
seems
that.
like
We're
taller.
gonna
short.
look it up right now.
Your phone is bedazzled.
Jess, what else you got? Yeah,
I
that
know.
is
I
so
got this in Vegas
bejazzled. I love
for
that.
New Year's. I got it in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Snooki just released her Tanuary contest. She's teamed up with Super Tan, and she says nothing is more depressing
hands down.
than being pale in the winter. So Tanuary encourages everyone to keep their tan going with Super Tan products. She's confident that all Guidos and Guidettes out there will get their tan on this month and look good to avoid the winter blues. So she's encouraging all of her fans to show their best Snooki. She wants them to upload.
All right, next week we're all tan.
She wants them to
I didn't know
upload
it
their
was January.
photos with their best
All right.
Snooki pose and their best Snooki outfits. And at the end of the month, the winner will get a VIP to meet and greet Snooki at their local tanning salon.
That's so great. Okay, so next week, I know you guys are short on time. Can we all get tans?
Oh, let's
need
do
to.
it.
I have
I've
a
been
year-round
saying that.
tan.
Let's
Yeah, you're
do
good.
airbrush too.
Jessica's good.
I want to do
Girls.
airbrush.
Okay.
I am so pale I can
listen,
cry.
something I was thinking as I was watching the show. Did you just notice the Snooki dance that she does? And then Dina kind of does the same dance?
Where she kind of
Yeah.
like goes down.
The Jersey Turnpike?
Yes. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
The Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
Can any of you do that dance?
I could.
Go,
Because
girl.
I would, no, I'm not saying now. I would love, like, next week. Is it possible? I mean, I need you to really do it the exact way.
Yes.
So, Phil.
You have to post it up on the website, the Tanuary website.
So, Phil, is that something we do in the confessional booth, or do we do a special
think
segment
they'd be
next
able to
week?
see
We do a
it.
special segment.
Special segment? No, we'll
You
make
have to
it.
get on the table.
In the confessional though, you wouldn't probably see
No,
it.
No,
Yeah.
we'll do it here.
Yeah.
We gotta move on. We gotta move
Oh,
on.
Okay,
by
sorry,
the way,
sorry.
guys, let me
What?
interrupt. Ronnie from the Jersey Shore is 5'8", and guess how many pounds he weighs?
like 210.
190.
180.
220.
I kind of think that's
What's this?
bogus. I kind of think that he put that in
I
there.
know.
I
to
think
make
he's
it-
probably actually
He's not.
5'7".
Yeah, no. Ian's laughing. Ian, you're a trainer. He's not 220.
Maybe.
I don't know what steroids.
Then why are you laughing?
Wow, this is funny. On Wiki Answers, someone wrote, "How tall is Ronnie Magro from Jersey Shore? 3 foot, no inches, no brain."
Very funny. Very funny.
Love
Jess,
it.
what else we got?
So last but not least, I know we have a huge WWE audience here. So this made news last week right after our show. We didn't get to announce it, but word on the street is that WWE is interested in bringing the Situation to WrestleMania. The last time we saw a Jersey Shore cast member on the WWE event was when Snooki did WrestleMania 27. So
Supposed to be a follow-up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be fine. I think our own Maria Menounos will be involved in that as well. I
Yeah.
think from her last appearance.
and a couple like JWoww and Ronnie did Spike
TNA,
TV's
they did the TNA, the
so
smaller group.
Jersey Shore is definitely big into.
I think
The
that-
Situation's roast experience is anything like this will be a
yeah.
huge success.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would
Ian,
love
do you
that.
just keep moving farther away from camera so you don't have to be there? Like, all of a sudden now you're like far left as you can be.
Can I add some news bits for you guys?
yes.
Do it.
A week after Vinny tried to calm Miley Cyrus down from her fear of flying via Twitter, the 19-year-old was spotted out with Pauly D. They met up in L.A., though it's clear how or why.
Clearly about their musical careers.
They've been tweeting
Yeah,
each other
they're
too,
probably gonna work
like
together.
miss hanging out with you and stuff like that.
So it's Miley
Sparking.
kind of trying to. She's graduating from the kiddie crowd, and maybe
Miley's not 19, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
she
no, no.
is.
Vinny. Yes.
Miley
yeah,
is
she's
19.
She's
Yeah.
19. Yeah, it's all going.
Really?
all
Oh no,
go-
wait.
I thought she was 21.
All
No,
grown
she's
up.
definitely
she's
not
not
21.
21.
She's 19.
That's for sure. Yeah, because now all the entertainment outlets are reporting on her wearing these like plunging neckline dresses.
Yeah,
it's
time
crazy
to, grow
to
up.
see.
It's
Yeah,
time to
she's
grow
growing up.
She's becoming whores like you guys. All right. So
That's the way to go.
okay. So listen. So Pauly D.
Work for you.
The only way.
Pauly D was in town promoting the Jersey Shore. That's when they had met up. But then he was off to Vegas to launch his new headset line with 50 Cent. Like things are happening for
Yeah.
Mr.
Well, did
D.
you guys
Fitting.
notice in the actual episode, Vinny was sporting his clothing line, the T-shirt with the star? That's Pauly D's.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Oh,
Paul's.
really?
Wow,
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah, no, not, we. I mean,
Now
we
they're
hear he
promoting
actually
it.
owns a store. We've heard rumors he has a store down there as well.
Pauly also just launched a new spray tan can thing.
I mean, I like
after
him.
Italy.
I like Pauly because Pauly's quietly doing it. Whereas like Sitch was, you remember he's
Yeah,
like, I got
Pauly's not
my
in your
detail
face.
app, I
In
got
your
this, I got
face.
that, I make this many millions a year. Pauly just really smart businessman. All right, so Dina met a new boyfriend after the season ended. Some guy she's been dating for 5 months. She said she's over Pauly. She told she told Us Weekly that the only embarrassing moment from the show is when she lost her underwear. Other than that, she's all good with everything else.
Listen,
that
this
was her
guy-
most embarrassing moment.
That's it. Other than that, she's good with everything else.
She
And
is so ugly.
so someone. Oh wait. Oh whoa.
Well, I think this
She could
guy is the
definitely
guy
use some
from the
makeup
bar.
tips,
I could
for
see
sure.
it.
Did that come
Do you think
out?
it's the guy
I think
from the
it's
bar?
the guy from the bar.
You know, someone
boyfriend.
was gonna glom on.
Can
So-
I kiss you? Like, who says
Can I
that?
kiss you?
Like,
I don't know.
I hate when have you
that a
ever had a
pickup
guy do
line?
that to you? It's so awkward.
as a girl, would you go up to?
All right, Kwow, give us the rest of the news
No,
in
okay,
20
wait.
seconds or less.
Okay,
We're going to play a fun game.
Okay, wait. Sammy has a new perfume, Dangerous. When I went to the site for it, the link was broken and the site was not found. It was launched at a store called Mandy's, which is in New York and sells junior high and high school kids clothing, and it's also available on shorestore.com. So I don't feel like it's a wide release thing. I
So
think it's
Bloomingdale's is not offering it?
It doesn't seem like
Oh,
it.
okay.
It doesn't.
Nordstrom's?
It doesn't seem like it, and I
No,
believe.
Mandy's is like a Charlotte Russe type of thing, but lower.
And I believe.
Lower.
It's cool though. I used to shop at Mandy's.
Okay, well then
whatever.
that's
When I
it.
was
And I
12.
believe that is your AfterBuzz TV news and gossip for the week of, what week is it, Phil?
January 12th,
January 12th.
2012. And by the way, Vinny did appear on Adam Carolla's podcast.
Oh, thank you. That's right. Vinny appeared on Adam Carolla's podcast. I know, Ian, you had talked to his people, and of course, typical of AfterBuzz, we were 1 week late. So Vinny had left town, but his people said he definitely wants to come by and be part of it when he's in town.
Definitely.
So, but good of us to have missed it, like always.
Typical, yeah. Fact.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, guys, we saw a nice little highlight for next week. I'm looking at Roxy's notes.
Yeah, you probably can't read them right now,
remember
but
them.
I can
Tell me.
tell you what's up. So we see that Vinny goes home. He's talking to his mom. Obviously, they're very close. Some would say that he's a mommy's boy. Others would frown at that. But what's wrong with being
We'll
a
see the
mommy's
emotional
boy?
return. The interesting thing is going to be how they celebrate Pauly's birthday and Sitch is mad. And I believe that's genuine. I believe they genuinely don't care to celebrate his birthday. And I believe he would be
Absolutely.
genuinely
Harsh.
bummed out.
We see Pauly gets a cake and Situation doesn't. That's probably rough situation. No pun intended. That sucks.
And Deanna needs to get her. She
Dina has something stuck in her hair.
has to get a cut.
And needs to fix
And
her
we see
makeup.
more meatball madness.
I don't think Dina had something stuck in her hair. It was her weave that was in a knot from partying the whole night.
By the way,
That's
a
what
lot
it
of
was.
discussion. I mean,
why didn't she just take it
listen,
out?
guys, our show
She's
went.
so pretty.
Our show went long because there was so much going on. Like, so far, so good for the season. Can I ask you guys what you?
Yeah. Tonight.
Jess, what do you think of the
yeah.
season so far?
I could still use a little more drama.
Are you hopeful?
I'm hopeful that hopefully there'll be more drama than Vinny.
Hopeful.
Hopeful, yes.
Okay, Gab, what do you think?
I love the excitement of like the first 2 seasons of this show. So I hope we can bring that out in this season and still keep it fresh.
Do you feel like it's happening?
I feel
this is a
like
pretty-
it's good and it's better than last season, so
Right.
I'm happy.
Right. Okay, Rox.
I love them in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like them back in
That's-
Jersey.
yeah.
Jersey's
All right,
the best.
So listen, Before
And
we do
I
the,
say
no,
look to the cast of the Jersey Shore to expedite the predictions of the Mayan calendar end of the world
God.
in 2012.
I
Bring
agree.
it
I
to
agree.
a quick Armageddon,
All right,
everyone.
wait.
We
Now,
warned
listen. Next week, Gabby
That was
will
good.
do the Snooki dance for us.
I
There we
will.
go.
So
I will
please-
show you
the
guys
Jersey Turnpike. So
Turnpike.
please, everyone, tune in for that. Gab, how do we find you?
How do we find me? Okay, guys. Facebook.com/Gabrielle Loren, #1, and also on Twitter at Gabrielle_Loren.
All right, Jessica, what about you?
Twitter at gorgeous715. Facebook, JCK spelled out 715.
Roxy?
You can find me on Twitter at Roxy Striar, ROXYSTRIAR.
Ian Kaiser Show.
I'll be at my organic farm in Connecticut, plowing the field.
So
and-
nothing. So no.
No,
Do you have an address?
Wait, there is an at Ian Kaiser, isn't there, Phil? Phil.
I don't follow you.
I don't know. I don't think he does Twitter.
Just weird, Harold. Wait, but he does like Facebook.com/ right? Ian Kaiser. He's got
Is
needs
that
to-
true, Phil?
My Facebook has been deactivated unceremoniously, but you can get
Oh,
me
no.
at Undergaro. Okay, you guys, next week, Gabby will do the Snooki dance.
Woo! And
Yeah.
make sure to wear
Jersey
skirt.
Turnpike. She will do the Jersey
I
Turnpike.
will
I'm
make
sorry.
sure to wear a skirt for you guys. No,
Nice. No, wait.
No,
you're
you
gonna.
have to wear a
No,
Snooki
you
dress.
with
wear
no
the-
underwear.
Snooki
No,
dress,
you can wear the underwear, but I
Gionni
want the
underwear.
skirt. Gab, skirt.
Gionni.
Skirt next week.
From producers Keven Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
If I
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz.